بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الخلق أجمعين محمد بن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Again, to deal with some elements of our topic, the big topic, research methods in literature. To start in this session, dealing with some important aspects, some important phases. Okay. Starting with the big title today, research methods in literature. And some elements can help you understanding from the beginning and going through the middle until the end, like research. What is research? The objectives of the research, what are they? How can we be familiar with them or with it? Okay, so research, as you know, refers to a search for knowledge. One of the most important things you have to realize that any research, and inshallah ta'ala, all of you will make good researches in what? In your projects. You have to realize the research, any new research should what? Should add to the knowledge of the society. Should add to the knowledge of society. One important question you have to ask yourself, otherwise others will ask you, okay, what new matters, ideas, knowledge you as a researcher added to the knowledge of society in your work, in your project, in your dissertation, in your thesis. Okay, so generally, commonly, research refers to a search for knowledge. Yeah. Someone can say, okay, what is the knowledge we can acquire from dealing with what with English literature? Okay, if I did my research, what are the knowledge I can add to the society? No, you can add, but you don't realize. Anyone don't realize. What do we mean of society? Society means any people, any person, any people, any group of people, or nations, okay, categories of people to make understanding. Maybe your work, your research, your dissertation or thesis, okay, will be used by any further coming researchers in future. As the same as you now, the one of you who will deal with a research, with a project, with a dissertation or thesis, you will get from others. Okay, you will get citations and references from other materials. Reading here and there, okay, quoting, citing, right? Yes, this is the knowledge. Those in previous studies, they contributed to the knowledge of the society that some other comers, they make use of their works like that. Here it is written once can, so I mean, this is mistakenly done by the one who prepared this one. We can see one, which is not once. One can also define research as a scientific and systematic search for permanent information. Yeah, correct. So it is scientific. Any research, small research, MA research or dissertation or thesis, PhD research or dissertation or thesis is scientific. Why it is scientific? Because it follows, okay, scientific systems, scientific rules, okay, rules to be what? To be scientific. Yeah, searching. It is search for permanent, continuous, forever data, information to help all people. Generally, no, on a specific topic. Clear, gentle researchers? Yes. Research is an art of scientific investigation. Very much direct, very much clear, but again, we can say that it is scientific. On the other hand, it is art. Art, like drawing, like painting, like a poem, like a story of drama, a story of novel, okay? But it is what? It is scientific, not just narrative. not just spoken, no, scientific investigation. What is the purpose? The purpose will be seen or shown in the objectives. What can I say? We can go back again to this one. What is the purpose? For what? For the knowledge of the society, to help the society. This is the general aspect. This is the big vision. Okay? Yeah. So it is what? An art of scientific investigation. It should be understood like that. Only this one? No. There are many theorists have the same idea, but differently in their what we call indication, in their explanation, in their saying, research objectives. The purpose of research, again, is to discover answers to questions through the application of scientific procedures. Yeah, some of you in your presentation today, you mentioned this one, even if it is indirectly, but you mentioned. So, answering questions through applications, through ways of doing, okay, of scientific procedures. Specific procedures should be followed by all. The one who is doing research in medicine, the one who is doing research in engineering, the one who is doing research in English literature or whatever, the one who is doing research in Islamic studies, all of them, they are and they are following the same scientific procedures. Okay? We are going to watch that or to notice that in future, inshallah ta'ala. With what? With an aim and aims, with a goal and goals. Main goal, sub-important goals. The main aim of the research is to find out, to discover, okay, to what we call spur the depth of the truth. The truth. And the truth is the help of society, which is hidden and which has not been discovered as yet. Yeah. It is hidden and it is not discovered yet. We need to discover it. Why we need to discover it? Just to discover it? No. To help society. Okay, to help society. Okay, dear researchers, one of the most important or significant element in our religion, in our Islam, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala imposes all Muslims to investigate and work and doing something helpful for humanity. And it is compulsory, obligatory for Muslims, for all. وقل اعملوا فسيرى الله عملكم ورسوله والمؤمنين. وقل اعملوا. خطاب, توجيه, indication from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to his people, all the nation of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Go, tell them to work, not just to say, to work. If you notice now, life, okay, because of work and hard work by people in the east, in the west, in the south, in the north, look to the new technology. Unfortunately, these new technical, mechanical, productions and new technology, the majority of it or of them, okay, is or are produced, invented, created by non-Muslims, and this is a defect of the Muslims, not of Islam, a defect of Muslims. Even the car, the mobile, the laptop, we can say, though each research, research study has its own specific purpose. Yes, we may think of research objectives as falling into a number of following broad, wide groupings, helpful groupings. It means definite or taken for granted by the majority, by all those who are related to doing research. What are they? And let me give you the first gift today. there can be a question about what the objectives of the research. Mention, write about what are the research objectives you studied. Okay, yeah, this is the comment, and you can do it better than this in your own way, no problem. To gain familiarity with a phenomenon, yeah, or to achieve new insight. As I said, new, it means that you have to add something new to the welfare of the society, to the knowledge of the society, okay, into the work. It can be study, for example, study with this object in view are termed as explanatory or formulative research studies. It is connected with what? With research studies. So it is the first objective, the first target. What about the second? To portray, right? To portray, to show, to present, to prophesy accurately. Accurately means with what? With quite assurance. The character, again and again, frequency with what? With which something occurs. So to determine the frequency with which something occurs or with which it is associated with something else, studies like with this object in view, object in view, known as diagnostic research, diagnostic study, how to diagnose, how to discover, how to realize, okay, or to start the knowledge of. Number 4, the fourth objective is to test. Again, through testing, you need to make hypotheses, and after making these hypotheses, to validate their results by what? By testing. To test a hypothesis of actual relationship between variables such as studies are known as hypothesis testing research studies. So the first objectives can come as a what? A question, okay? Motivation in research. Motivation in research. What are the important motivations in doing a research? Here we have some elements like 5 points. You need to realize them, understand them in a good way. Okay, then prepare again a question about the motivation in research. Creating enthusiasm, attraction, appeal to the learner in a way or in another. So what makes people to undertake research? It is a question of fundamental importance or significance here. The possible motives for doing research may be either one of more. It can be these, one or more of them. Like what? Like desire to get research degree, like you. It is the top. That people who doing research, they have a purpose. The purpose is to get what? Higher degree, along with its consequential benefits. Next one is to face the challenge in solving the unsolved problems. You have a desire to do something, to do something new. You need to go through what? Through searching. How to prove it? How to prove your hypothesis or your notion? Through what? Through researching. Okay, for example, concern over practical. Yes, you have to make what you call experimental. Okay, getting through experience. Like what are you going to do with thesis? Even the presentations, they are what we call keywords in doing that. But when you are doing your practical thesis, it is face challenging in solving a problem. You need to prove for example, the great role of Saudi women in the Saudi novels. Are there great women, okay, in the Saudi novels? Maybe yes. How can you prove? You make a research. to study novels, Saudi novels by Saudi authors, male or female, and to collect the data and to make your hypothesis. Then you make your analysis until what? Until the end. You can make sure that to finalize your what you call recommendation. Are there as you supposed or not? Through what? Through practical research. Doing. Number 3, desire to get intellectual joy. For some, and I hope that I am one of them, to do researches, to write researches. But this can be what? After PhD, for example. You are doing researches for what? For joy, for happiness, للشغف العلمي. Okay. You need just what? You need knowledge. You don't want any other what we call purpose to be built on doing the research. Okay, like professors, when they do some researches, especially in the human sciences, they are doing them for what? For intellectuality, as well as for what? For happiness. So, desire to get intellectual joy of doing some creative work. It is not any work, but to be what? Creative. Creative. Creative means that it is nice. Nice in doing, attractive for people, helpful, needed for people to understand, to get, to read, okay, and to share also. Okay, to elevate the status of the place, the country, the person. Number 4, desire to be of service to society. You remember what we have mentioned at the beginning, to add knowledge to the society? Yes, here is the idea. Desire to be of service to the society. As we mentioned, naturally it is known that any scientific research, any research, and all researchers are scientific because they are following the same procedures. So they have to add to the knowledge of the society. Next one, number 4, get respectability. It is a sort of desire, attractiveness. Desire to get respectability. Yeah, people they need dignity in society. Okay, of course. Just imagine when you say which is better, a person with MA with PA first, or a person with MA. Okay, what about a person with MA or PhD, which is beta, as a sort of what we call intellectuality, as a sort of rank, okay, or respect in the society. Of course, you know that the one who has PhD, and it is a good way for you to, all of you, search for obtaining this high degree, okay, for knowledge, for prestige, for dignity, for the helping society, for many purposes. One of them is to get prestige, respect in society, and it is available. It is available. Even religiously, it is mentioned in the our what we call our preaching of Islam. As I remember, صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول من سلك طريقا يبتغي فيه علما. What kind of علم? Any sort of knowledge. ما هي النتيجة? What is the result? سهل الله له طريقا إلى الجنة. Okay, so look to this greatness. Yeah, concerning with knowledge, علم, science, and in every field. Next idea, next point here we have types of research. Yeah, some of you in your presentation today dealt with that, but now let's talk about them what we call officially, okay, and depend on days because they might come in the exams. Okay, so a question and a gift for those clever will get it, a gift. What are the types of research? by this way, that's way. If you have types of research in a question, it means here. The basic types of research are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 types. Okay. The basic types of research are as follows: descriptive, against, analytical. So analysis. You remember the difference between description and what you call what is it? Descriptive and explanatory. Yeah, that Reem and others mentioned today. We get through them, but sometimes in a different way. But it is in our idea, our notion, which we should not let free to catch. Descriptive research includes surveys and fact findings inquiries. All those connected with laboratories, they need to get what survey and the final finding facts. Finding facts or fact findings of what, of any kind, different kind, any kind under study, not just any and stop, no. Any kind, different kinds or any kind under study. The major purpose of descriptive research is description only of the state of affairs as it exists as present, comparing the one we have today and the result which we can find after our doing our survey or research. So this is descriptive. Analytical research, on the other side, on the other hand, so the researcher has to, and you understand the meaning of has to, must, should, how to use or analyze facts for what? For information already available. And analyze these to make a critical evaluation of the material. One of the elements of the analytical research is what we do in literature, in human sciences. Okay, we use what you call analytical. Of course, sometimes it is descriptive, sometimes it is what we call critical. So it is, included in one: analytical, critical, and descriptive. But just descriptive, only descriptive? No, descriptive is connected with what? With practical. It is clues from those what you call scientific materials, which need experiments. Okay, comparing the what you call experiments, the results of the experiments. Okay, here is the idea. This one is most scientific, and this one is most humanitic. So descriptive is scientific for the total, but it is also used. Here we have what we call, here we have what? Types. We have definitions, not completely, because there are other definitions we can say. The next one is applied research and fundamental research. What do we know about them? Realize them. Maybe some of you mentioned them today. Research in general can either be applied or action, research, or fundamental means basic or pure. Fundamental, basic, or pure. Applied means action, connected with action. And all of them, they are what? Fundamental or applied research. So the first one, for action, applied research, aims at finding a solution for an immediate problem facing a society. So again here, and look how the words are revolving on the main point. What is it? Adding to the knowledge of society, adding something new to the knowledge of society, helping society, elevating society. So solution for an immediate problem facing a society. Only that, or an industrial business organization. Yeah, even this organization is connected with society. If it is business or industrial, again, it is connected with society. Okay, whereas fundamental research on the other side is generally mainly concerned with generalizations and with the formation of a theory. As we mentioned in the first one, descriptive and analytical. The first one, descriptive, is connected with the scientific pure sciences. The second one, mostly with the humanities. The idea is the same, applied, connected mostly with practical, what you call solutions, finding solutions, connected with specific organizations like industrial, like business, okay, economical or whatever, fundamental, dealing with what? Dealing with the generalizations, generalization, analyzing, can say, analyzing the generalizations happening in our what? In our universe, with the formation of a theory. Of course, there are many theories concerning yeah, or related to researching. The third type, quantitative against qualitative. So it is direct somehow, direct in a case that this one, the first one, depends on quantity, okay, the amount. The second one, qualitative, deals with what? Deals with the quality. From its original meaning, we can predict what we need. So, first, the quantitative research, which depends on the quantity, is based on the measurements of quantity or amount. Okay, yeah, simple, direct. Example of that, it is applicable, okay? Yeah, simple, direct. Example of that, it is applicable to phenomena or phenomena that can be expressed in terms of quantity. Yeah, here is the central point. On the other side, qualitative research. Qualitative research, on the other hand, is concerned with the qualitative phenomena, with what quality. For example, phenomena relating to or involving quality or its kind, the kind of quality, the type of quality. Yeah. Okay. We hear sometimes some proverbs, بعض الأحكام تقول, okay, we think of quality, not quantity. Okay, so here is a measure, there is a measure. Number 4 is conceptual and empirical. Conceptual research, empirical research. Conceptual research is that related to some abstract ideas or theory. Yeah, it is more philosophical than practical. Conceptual, connected with the concept. مفاهيم. Conceptual, مفهوم, يدو مفهوم. Empirical, practical. It is generally the conceptual. It is generally used by philosophers and thinkers to develop new concepts or to reinterpret existing one. You need to analyze a poem with a philosophy, okay, to create praise, to create praise from a poem. Another person needs to analyze the concepts of homeland in a poem, the same poem, but with another philosophy. So it is called conceptual, okay, with a concept, focusing on a concept. Empirical, as we have here, on the other hand, empirical research relies on experience. We have empirical experience, practical, or observation alone. Yeah. You have to go. For example, if you need to make a research in literature, poetry, drama, novel, comparative, or whatever, you have to do with what you have to do with conceptual research. But another one in English linguistics, he needs to measure the variation of sounds in the alphabet. He or she needs to make what? To make experience or experiments to observe, okay, the results. How can you pronounce this letter? Explain or explain, predict or predict, right? You know, people or people. Yeah, just imagine. So it is in this case empirical. You need hypothesis, you need experiments, you need questionnaires, then observation. Okay? Yeah. So open without due regard, yeah, for system and theory. It is database research coming up with conclusions which are capable of being verified by observation or experiment. Here is what we call the types of research. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. They can come as a question in your exams. So prepare well. Try to understand them. Try to realize them. Try to be familiar with them. Next one, we have approaches on researching. What are the research approaches? Okay, what are they? The above description which we mentioned of the types of research brings to light the fact that there are two basic approaches. Again, how many? Two. To realize. Okay. Quantitative approach and qualitative approach. From the types, we divide, we get, we sum up, we assimilate two approaches. What are they? Quantitative approach and qualitative approach. So mixing the four into two, but not call them type, calling them what? Approaches. The former, quantitative, means involves the generation of data in quantitative form, with quantitative form, which can be subject to rigorous quantitative analysis in a formal and rigid fashion or style. This approach also can be further subclassified into inferential or experimental and simulation approaches to research. Another way of saying, if we speak about philosophy, if we speak about theories, the purpose of inferential approach is to research. And to research is to form a database form, which to infer, to discover characteristics or relationship of population. This is an example. On the other side, qualitative approach. Qualitative approach to research is concerned with subjective assessment. What is assessment? Underline it and try to understand. Assessments to analyze, to evaluate, to criticize, to explain, to describe. Okay, so assessment of attitudes or opinions and behavior, this and that. Research in such situation, when we talk about this approach, quantitative approach, is a function of researchers' insights and impressions. Insights and impressions. What is that? Insights means his own opinions, his own perspectives, his own appealing and impressions, feelings, sentiments. When you say, according to Fulan, in the opinion of Fulan, as the perspective of Fulan. Here is we say the insights and the impressions of a philosopher, a way, a saying, similar like that. So here we have, what are the significance of research? What are the significance of research? How many points in this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, they are simple, but they are various, right? Understanding research through its significance lead us to go to these points. Number 1, A, to those students. I don't want to say students. I can say that researchers or scholars who are to write a master's or PhD thesis like you, but they are not students. Students is weak word for researchers like master or PhD. To those scholars who are to write a master's or PhD thesis, research may be a mean and charism, or a way to attain a higher position in social structure. Yeah, to try to get higher, what we call rank in society. Possible? Yes, possible. What prevents? Next one is to professionals. You, after getting the PhD, you are a doctor, a philosopher, assistant professor, associate, or professor. You will be what? Professional. To professionals in research methodology, research may mean a source of livelihood. Like doctors in the universities. It is what? It is a source of livelihood. Finding what we call intellectuality, finding respect. At the same time, it is what? Livelihood. Okay, look how many dimensions the person is getting. Meaning, in one concept, being a philosopher, being a doctor, being a PhD holder. And it is one to remind you that all of you should have PhD degrees in future, inshallah, through hard working in your studies. Yeah, you will get it. The next point, number C, is to philosophers and thinkers. Yeah. Those who are interested just only for what? For literature's sake. Education for education's sake. Okay? Like those poets, when they write poetry, they don't want from poetry to get money, just for what? For satisfaction. Philosophers and thinkers research may mean the outlet for new ideas and insight. Again, by way or another, what? Giving elements, giving hints, giving what we call insights to society, to the knowledge of society. Outlet new ideas and insight for the person and for what? For the society. To literary men and women like you, research may mean the development of new styles and creative work. Today you are a teacher in schools of the general education, general schooling. Tomorrow after getting MA or after tomorrow after you get PhD, you will be an assistant professor in a university. Your prestige of life will be different. Your creativity in doing will be different. Your ability of talking, dealing with others will be what? Will be different. So getting what? New style and creative work. Especially this one for you. Next one and last one, number E. To analysts, those people, philosophers, theorists, connected with what? With the theory of analysis and the intellectuals. Okay? Research may mean the generalization of new theories. What is the theory of Yahya Dahami? So it became my logo, my emblem, my belief. What is it? It is to appreciate, is to understand. To appreciate is to understand. If you need to appreciate something, concrete or abstract, concrete to taste it, abstract to realize it with your mind and heart. You have to understand before appreciating. You have to know. Then you can what? Appreciate. Okay? Like that. Again, important point we have today here is how do you decide what to write about when confronted with a research paper? You are going to write your research. So, how do you decide what to write about when confronted with research paper? It is underlined. You want a focused topic. Here are some things to consider. By the way, this is a question. This is a really question. This is a really question. Make sure your topic meets the assignment requirements. When we say requirements, requires means scientific rules. Scientific rules. So any research is scientific. It depends on, it goes through specific rules and procedures. So ask yourself, ask your professor, ask yourself first, then ask your professor for feedback if you are unsure. Next one, choose a topic that is interesting to you. Yeah, I always advise that you have to choose a topic that you are interested to. Why interested to? If you are not interested to do something, it will be boring. But if you are interested in it, even if it is difficult, okay, your being interested will what? Will lighten, will lessen its difficulty. With what? With your interest, with your enthusiasm with it. It may seem obvious, but this will make a research process more fun and engaging. Yeah, when you do something you like, okay, it is fun. You are doing something interesting and engaging for you. Yes, you have to be engaged with it. Completing. One is completing the other. Next one. Consider the scope of your topic. If your topic is too broad, it may be hard to find information that is focused and relevant. If your topic is too narrow or you're short, it may be hard to find any information at all. So it should be what you call manageable. Manageable. Scope of your topic means manageable. You can do. Don't create a huge topic that you cannot finish, and don't select or choose a very short topic that you cannot find materials and you will be dropped through it. Okay, next one is choose a catchy topic. How to catch it? Catchy means you catch it, and the topic is what is catching you in word. Binary, this and that. Finding a research topic. Finding a research topic, yes. So this title and the coming are, again, I can say that they are interesting, they are necessary, even if they are easy, but they are of great interest. We can deal with them next session, but let me go through them quickly. Okay, just reading the titles that some of you will do with them in the coming session, inshallah ta'ala. Finding a research topic is a necessary idea to realize it. We have many points. Today is summarizing, generally summarizing the whole task as a sort of introduction. How to develop or modify your topic. Very interesting. Next one. Resources that can help you finding and develop your topic. Without resources, without references, bibliography, okay, your work is nothing. Okay, right? So, but what are the original and what you call authentic resources we should depend on as researchers? The course of your work. There should be plan of time, and plan of going, and plan of achievement. You have to go through them. What is the course of your work? Course, time, and achievement. How to write a research proposal? You need it. You need it. Yeah, so from here, very simple, right? Next one, propose of a research proposal. Before writing, you have to suggest, you have to think of the topic. This is what proposal. What are the aims of the research proposal? It should have what? Scientific aims. Scientific means also literary, okay? To add to the knowledge of the society. How long is a research proposal? If it is short research, if it is NA research, if it is PhD research, everyone has a scope of time. How long is a research proposal takes? Parts of a proposal. Yeah. What are the elements, the body of the proposal? What are they? Simple but necessary. Simple but interesting. Starting with what? After the title, starting with what we call the face, abstract and table of contents. This is the face that the body will be built on. Introduction, the neck, connecting the face with what? With the body. Introduction. After abstract and contents, you have the introduction. Then you have the hands, literature review. The hands that this body should fly. Not fly, but just it is what you call abstract idea. Literature review help you as a mirror to go through them, doing your task. Research design and methods. Yeah. After a review of literature, you need to make a sort of design and methods. What are the techniques, the methodology you are going to use in your research? Yeah, here is what we call like the chest of your work. Implications and contributions to knowledge. Yeah, going deeper now, going deeper in the, connecting between the face, the neck, and the chest with the other parts. Reference list of bibliography. It is what you call the helping materials. Helping materials necessary. Without reference and bibliography, there is no scientific research. Research schedule. Research schedule. Any research, academically, it is what? Schedule. Example, research schedules. Here you have examples. Budget. Determine your budget. Think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go. Like a travel, like a journey. If you need to make a journey, you cannot wake up and go to the airport. No, there should be preparation. So revisions and proofreading. Yeah, after preparing, before eating the food, you have to what we call bake it. You have to cook it. Then you have to prepare it, revise it, and make it ready. Research proposal templates. Yeah, each university in doing research, they have their own what template. Okay, the form to be done. Then it should have contents. After, as we mentioned, after the abstract comes the contents. Sometimes there is what you call acknowledgement or whatever. Yeah, it is before or after. Then after the content, we have mainly the introduction. So until the end, just showing as a mirror. Showing as a mirror to your work, like literature review, to be followed by that. Here is what more examples to finish. Here are some examples to do concerning what we have mentioned, research design and methods, what we have mentioned in the previous pages. Here we have again implications, just help in doing either inside text or as reference. Then the schedule. A work without schedule is what is aimless, unsuccessful, can be defective. A work with the schedule, it is scheduled, at least